Hello, friends. I'm Marianne with Happy Paper People. Welcome to Tuesday's Tips in 10, where I bring you a list of curated tips and ideas gathered from crafters and artists around the world. Maybe you contributed to this episode, and maybe someone else will find value in your ideas. My hope is that you will find among these an idea that will help make your creative life a little easier, maybe even a little more organized. Today's topic is paper storage and organization. How do you store and organize your different types of paper? Let's talk first about 12 by 12 scrapbook paper and cardstock. Margie in Wisconsin stores her 12 by 12 paper in these 13 by 13 iris containers, sorted by type, then by theme. They're about 3.5 inches tall. They're 13 by 13 square, so they hold 12 by 12 scrapbook and cardstock paper perfectly. Debbie, Bonnie, and Jill, who happen to all be in Washington State, each use a 12 by 12 cube wall unit for scrapbook paper and cardstock. Debbie also stores special collections such as Stamperia, Minte, or Graphic 45 in these iris containers. Glynis in Canada has a strip of wall hanging folders hanging next to her work area. She has them sorted by color. This is super convenient for her since she crafts from her bed due to health. Sandy from Missouri bought paper racks from a local scrapbooking store that went out of business. Aren't we all envious? Laura from Canada has a desk file sorter in which she keeps her newest paper at hand. Laura, Debbie, Bonnie, and Jill also use this iris container for project gathering. When they have a particular project in mind for some paper, they put it into the iris container and label it for that project. They can then add embellishments and ephemera that will be used for that project. This makes it super easy to grab a project case and sit down to work on it. How about coffee dyed paper or tea dyed paper? Kelly in Oregon uses clear, portable banker's boxes for her coffee dyed paper. She separates them with manila folders, which eventually get used as well. These boxes stack and they have handles, and they are perfect for her needs. Glynis's coffee dyed paper goes in files that are stored in a box. I also keep my dyed paper in file folders. They are standing on a shelf in a file organizer. As for 6x6 paper pads, Rebecca in Washington has an IKEA rolling cart for her 6x6 paper pads, and Debbie has boxes with lids from IKEA that they fit perfectly into. And last but not least, paper scraps. Margie keeps her paper scraps in job ticket holders similar to this, sorted by color. Debbie sets a bin under her table to toss scraps in as she's working. Bonnie puts scraps into an expandable folder. Then she cuts them to tag shapes and sizes and stores them in 4x6 photo holders such as this, which then fit into a larger container. Jill cuts her scraps to size for cards or tags and keeps them in book Rolodexes, such as this. She has one for cards and one for tags. This is a sample of one that I haven't quite finished. I use the job ticket holders that Margie uses to keep scraps together while I'm working on a project. Once I'm finished with the project, I then take those scraps out of the job ticket holder and sort them into one of 3 of these iris containers. One is scraps that are great for collaging. That would include rice paper and napkin scraps. The second is specifically strips. We have a lot of strips cut off of 12 by 12 paper, including the branding strips. And the third is all other general scraps. So there you have a bunch of storage and organization ideas for scrapbooking paper and cardstock. How do you store your paper? Leave a comment below and let me know your favorite storage solutions for paper. You may have just the solution that someone else is looking for. If you found some value today, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell for all notifications. And join me each Tuesday at noon Mountain Time for more Tuesday's Tips in 10.